everybody, and welcome back to another educational bird video to teach you how to care better for your birds. These little kiwis on the line. So I wanted to make another your bird's health video, and I wanted to do it based on your bird's beak and foot health. I've talked in the past that you can tell a bird's quality of health based on the feathers, how vibrant, shiny, well placed they are, that they're not looking dull or misgroomed. Mango is a fine example of what healthy feathers should look like. No discoloration, everything's in unison, well-formed, shiny, and beautiful. There's no brittleness. Thank you for that display. You can see they're all in proper health. But there are other ways to be telling your bird's health, and as well other infections or diseases that they can get within their beak and feet that need to be discussed. So just for reference, I will be showing you guys what a healthy beak and feet look like by using my birds as an example. So take Kiwi's beak for example. Hi. You can see that it is shiny. You can see that it is well formed. There are no cracks. Sometimes when a bird is growing in their beak, you will see a little bit of this kind of under crack right there that you see. That is a bird's natural shedding of the beak layers. This happens is normal. There is no need to worry about that. Sometimes it can be, a really light shedding where they just have some like cracks around here. But just think a bird's beak is formed of the same substance that your nails are, so a basis of, calcium and keratin protein. It's also important to realize that a bird's beak does have nerve endings, so it is not that, you can hurt the bird's beak or do anything to it and they're not going to feel it. They do feel any pain, and that's why sometimes they also like to be pet and loved on their beak. It's also important to note that the color of their beak should be vibrant. There shouldn't be like dullness, and it should be like a full, lively color. It's also good to, know what color their beak is supposed to be, because while I can say discoloration can be a sign of nutritional deficiency, it's important to note that some parrot species have multiple colors on their beak. So take this into comparison about what's their normal, not just the normal in general. Here's Mango to show you what a very healthy beak looks like. Mango's is probably very healthy. Hi, Mango. She likes to show off because she knows she's so pretty. I'm trying to get her in the frame, but I have to lean down a lot. And as for their feet, you shouldn't be seeing feet that are overly dry, flaking, and scaly. Their feet, of course, they should have all 4 toes, so these are some healthy feet. Their nails should never be overgrown to the point where it's curling or they are, cutting into your skin. So it is important that either you do it yourself if you know how to and can restrain your bird properly, or you go take a trip to the vet and they do it professionally. We go to the vet, there is no shame in that. I like them to do it professionally and know that, they're in good hands, they know how to do it properly. I probably could never hold down Mango personally, but their feet should look like dinosaurs basically. If you see Mango's, you can see her feet are like little dinosaur feet. Hi Mango. You can see her nails are well maintained. We just took her for a nail clipping. And you can see that there is, they're a little bit rough because they are scaly, but they're not overly dry and they are a good, texture. It is good to note that if your bird is from a drier climate, such as Australia or Africa or India, then, they're gonna be a little bit drier with their feet. And if they're from, more moist, humidified climates, such as South America, like all of mine are, their feet are gonna be a little more on the, hydrated side. But either way, there shouldn't be an extreme of either. Too much dryness will cause irritability, flakiness, and it also can cut their feet and even open up, places in the skin for them to get infections. So definitely make sure your bird's feet are not always wet, because that can increase their chances of bacterial and fungal infections, and that they're not always dry, because then that can increase the risk for infections as well. So now to talk about some common or just possible illnesses or diseases that can occur on their beaks and feet and to watch out for, because it is always good that everyone has a basic understanding of some avian medicine so that they can apply it to their birds and catch any incidents or abnormalities early so that it doesn't develop into anything worse. So starting on the beak side, so birds can get bacterial infections on their beaks. Mango had one of these when we rescued her because she was in this tiny cage, very dirty, with like 7 other birds. None of them were cleaned properly. She had this pink lump on her beak for a little bit of time, and once we brought her home and gave her, clean, space and a good nutrition, it did go away. Now, it is always a good idea to get any lumps on the beak checked out by the vet because they can also develop tumors on their beak. They can look similar sometimes, but tumors are typically not going to go away, or any abnormal growth. Whether it's benign or malignant, it's always best to get it checked out, get a biopsy test done, because you definitely don't want to catch this too late. Usually there will be pain on the beak for your bird. It can be small to large depending how long the mass has been there, and it can be confused with a bacterial lump, so just get it checked out. Better to be safe than sorry. Depending what they've been exposed to, your bird can also develop a fungal infection on their beak. It might look like this, and fungal infections can be easily treated with antifungal medication at the veterinary. So yes, you're gonna have to take them to the vet for this. Many times it's easier to get a fungal infection if they are in the midst of shedding their beak, because there is a new layer coming in and it's thinner, so it gives more room for the fungus to grow in between there. Definitely want to get this checked out because this fungus can erode their beak. It can eat away at the cells and the protein there, and you are going to end up with a pretty bad beak issue there. So get it caught early, get it treated early. It's nothing that serious. As long as it's treated, it is treatable. Your bird might as well get mites or other diseases on their beak. This can look like this as well. Get this checked out by the vet, get it, tested. Any type of abnormality that you're seeing that doesn't look like healthy, please get it checked out by the vet. Usually there is treatment if you are cautious and always making sure you're doing a wellness check. You should be providing your bird with lots of enrichment and toys and things that they can bite, as well as a proper diet, because if you don't, you can lead to your bird having an overgrown beak. You definitely don't want them to have an overgrown beak because when it overgrows, they can't eat. If your bird has any issues with growing their beak, such as scissor beak, then please bring them to the vet to get it professionally shaved down, and so that they can continue to eat and function. And whether some birds are better at taking care of their beaks than others, never feel any shame of having to go to the vet and getting it, trimmed down a bit if they do need a little bit of extra help. Especially this can be the case if they're babies or if they're elderly birds and they no longer have the capability to maintain their beak. So always help them out with that. In general, mine are really good with maintaining their beak. They have a lot of wood, a lot of toys, a lot of enrichment that they chew on. So this is always maintaining their beak. We haven't had to shave down, but with my cockatiel, we did have to bring her in for shaving down because she was an older bird. The beak is a good place to also look for any nutritional deficiencies. If your bird is suffering from a calcium deficiency, usually the beak is not going to feel very hard and, firm. It's going to be a little more soft and kind of like when you touch it, it's going to be a bit rubbery. This can easily indicate a calcium deficiency, and it's good to increase calcium into their diet. Usually calcium deficiencies are due to having an unbalanced diet, maybe an all-seed diet, and it is always a good idea to consult with your vet before making any supplement or dietary changes so that they can walk you through it and that they can do a blood test to confirm this calcium deficiency. So it's just a good thing to know so that you have an idea of what's going on and that you can talk to your vet and just pinpoint that issue. An all-seed diet, or just a really high amount of fat in their diet and there's excess fat floating around, will be reflected in their beak as scaly and overgrown beaks. So like I said, the beak should look smooth. It's the only time that it should look a little bit on the scaly side is at the ends where it's shedding, but this shouldn't be an all year round thing. They shed, around different points in the season. It's not constant. So if there is a constant like scaly look all across the beak, then please do get it checked out by the vet. And as well, take a look at what diet you're giving your bird. As well, an all-seed diet will cause their beak to lose the shine and coloration. When we first brought Luca home, you guys know that, you know, he was on an all-seed diet for 4 years, and his beak, it's almost the same as Kiwi's now, but when we first brought him, it was very dull. It was almost gray. It had kind of no life to it, and you could tell that there was definitely a nutritional deficiency going on there. And now the difference, so diet has a huge part to play, and if you guys are not sure about proper diet for your pet parrot, then please check out our video. We do have a video about that on what diet you should be feeding them. We also have a lot of information about changing them from seeds to pellets, getting them to eat vegetables. Tons of advice to help you guys out, because we are here to help you guys and educate you guys. And never feel shy to DM me if you guys have a personal problem. I can help you walk through it the best of my ability. So that just covers a few deficiencies and issues for the beak. Of course, this isn't all of them. There's a huge list, but these are just the main ones. And now moving on to the feet. So like I said with the feet, they shouldn't be overly dry. They shouldn't be overly, you know, like hydrated, I don't like kind of say. Your bird's feet should fall somewhere in between. If your bird is suffering from dry feet, which can happen very commonly with Australian birds, I know cockatiels particularly suffer from dry feet, and they start to get itchy and they're biting a lot and it gets like a lot of scales are falling off, then never feel shy to get a warm humidifier. These always helped out with my cockatiel, for example. She definitely had over dried feet. As well, daily steamy showers. We do have a video about the benefits of showering with your bird if you want to check that out. Steamy showers help to hydrate the beak, to the feet, to the feathers, and there's just so much benefits to showering with your bird. As well, some people as well put some coconut oil on the feet or some pure aloe vera in a water, dip the feet in, just anything natural. No, you know, do not buy any like ointments or anything that is not natural, just only natural on your feet. Usually people just stick to aloe and the coconut oil to hydrate the feet, and this is what helps. Make sure your bird is drinking enough water and they're not dehydrated, because this can be a sign of dehydration. Other things you should be watching out for is a bird's feet should be 2 toes in the front, 2 toes in the back. Typically this is for parrots. If your bird's feet is malformed, and this has not always been the case, then please get it checked out by a vet. This could be that they got it twisted, that it's broken, that there is an issue going on. If your bird's toes are curling unnaturally and they're kind of not, like when they stand up on a surface, you know, it's normal for them to curl around branches, but when they're standing up on a flat surface and it's not, you know, like holding and it kind of like curling, there could be some issue there neurologically. Maybe your bird suffered a stroke, they have neurological damage, nerve damage, there's weakness, partial paralysis. Again, always good to get it checked out by a vet, especially if, you know, nothing happened prior and suddenly they're curling their toes abnormally. Make sure you're switching out their perches for things that are natural wood branches or some rope. Just make sure, if you can have like 1 or 2 dowel perches, like it's not like it's like the complete enemy. Just make sure that the majority of their perches are natural wood branches. Those are the best you can do, and it's something natural for their feet because it forms, because the form is natural for them to hold on to. Because if you just have dowel perches, because of how smooth they are, they do cause malformation in the feet and can lead to feet issues. Another common issue is bumblefoot. Here's a picture of what it looks like. These can be due to vitamin A deficiencies, calcium deficiencies, or just other nutritional deficiencies, and they are usually graded. Here is a chart showing the grading. Take them to a vet to get it professionally graded to see how severe it is, and as well get them a blood test to see what the deficiency is and what you can do to improve, whether in their diet, if you have an all-seed diet, how to change it, or if you're adding something that you're not supposed to, giving them incorrect food. There's so many causes for an incorrect diet causing these issues, but please do be aware of this being a real issue, especially if you are in the process of switching your bird from seeds to pellets. And nutritional deficiencies, whether severe to the point where it forms bumblefoot or light nutritional deficiencies, can be shown in the foot and the quality of the foot. Like I said, with Luca's beak, the same thing with his feet. When we first brought him, he was severely dehydrated, and like I said, he lacked a lot of nutrients. So if I can pull up a photo of the before and after, you can see how dull, gray, and scaly his feet were. They were also much weaker. He would not be able to hold on, didn't have a strong grip. Of course, now he does, and now his feet are wonderful. But compared to now, obviously you can see a very severe difference and the quality of his feet and the health of his feet. Staphylococcus bacteria is another common reason for bumblefoot, and it's also a type of bacterial infection that they can cause, especially if you're not cleaning the cage properly. Bacteria can form, and just due to many other reasons. So please do be cleaning the space. Keep your bird space very clean. You should be cleaning their cage every few days and doing a deep cleaning every few weeks, and just keep poop off of branches, keep poop off of their food, their toys. Make sure everything is clean and well maintained, because yes, having a bird means cleaning pretty much every day. Kidney diseases can also cause your bird to be weak and lame in one foot. There is also other symptoms that you can look out for within kidney disease, but you can only get this diagnosed by a vet by doing a blood and urinary sample test. So please don't try and diagnose it yourself. Please take them to a vet. But just in case your bird is suffering from weakness in a foot, since an artery that runs through the kidney runs through the foot as well, if this is a concern of yours, then please do get a check. Tumors can also grow on their feet. They can have tumors on their feet, so please make sure if you are checking their foot and there's an abnormal lump, then please, if it is concerning and it's not going away, do get it checked out by a vet, do a biopsy, do a testing, so that you can make sure that it's not cancerous, or if it is, that you can get early treatment and removal. Another reason for your bird having weakness or droopiness or just abnormal foot movement can be because they did get their toe broken or something is broken inside. Any types of injuries to the foot can cause these birds to have very hollow, fragile bones, which is what allows them to be light enough to fly. Most of these injuries are actually caused due to wing clipping, so if that confuses you and you are someone who supports wing clipping, I do advise you to check out my video on why wing clipping can get your bird killed, and another video that I have on why wing clipping is not okay. So please do get those checked out, because wing clipping can also cause more injury than people are aware of, such as a broken toe. Of course, please note that all of these do exclude any genetic issues, hereditary, or just birth defects. If your bird was born with, a malformed beak or a malformed foot, or they are a rescue and they had, a very tragic injury where they lost literally part of their beak, then this is a very different issue. Please get this, keep up with your vet on what kind of practices you should be doing, what kind of help you can be doing to your bird. These are just things that can be developed through the bird's lifespan naturally, or due to improper care, not really because of a defect when they were born. But I hope this video helped to clarify a few things, keep you guys a little bit more on edge on checking your bird's beak and feet, and not just, their feathers, because there are so many ways to tell how your bird's health is doing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Hit subscribe if you want to see more videos by us. Check out all our social media links down below. And leave any questions down below. Feel free to DM me if you have any specific questions. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye!